Caitlyn Clark is a basketball player and a competitor. After the Fever beat the Dream, she was out on the court working on her game. This video courtesy of Brett Bensley, as you can see there. And you see Clark out on the and a little bit in her demeanor, she's a little frustrated. I don't know if she's frustrated solely with her performance, if she, is just dealing with a lot. No athlete currently is dealing with more than Caitlyn Clark is. And she says she just wants to go out there and play basketball. She's struggling a little bit on the basketball court, and yet she is expected to answer every question thrown her way, which she's done a good job doing. But I also noticed this is deliberate too. Look at her going to her right here. She's taking those shots going to her right. And why is that significant? Well, that's significant because, actually, let me loop it one more time. That's significant because when she takes her deep threes, she likes to go to the left. She bounces those and fades those to the left. Her deep threes are generally going to the left, and you've seen teams try to take that away because they know that's her pet move. So I think the first goal here is to get to what she's most comfortable with, which is that deep shot going the other direction. And that way she can use the way that they're guarding her against them and take them to the right. And then she likes to drive right? So if she can start hitting this shot to the right, all of a sudden that's going to put defenders on their heels. And if she can put defenders on their heels like that, maybe she can drive by them, get that little bit of extra space that she needs to take it all the way to the basket on the right side of the floor. And I think, I don't have to keep saying the same things over and over again when it comes to what I think Caitlyn Clark can really work on. But if she then gets that dribble pull up right inside the 3-point line and a little running floater the same way, all of a sudden, all bets are off. They've got her playing a little bit of, in this game especially, she played decoy in the first half where they were, because there is so much attention on her. She's being face guarded and all that. They used that to get Aaliyah Boston going, to get Kelsey Mitchell going, and both of them had really, really strong games. In the second half, it was a little bit more discombobulated, and Clark made some nice feeds to Boston, which I showed in the previous video in the half-court setting. But Clark is a player who plays fast, too. And she's going to want to attack. She's going to want to attack. And that is, encouraging to see. The favorable spin will be Kobe, right? She's got that Kobe Mamba mentality. The haters will say it's D'Angelo Russell because he was once spotted, or he's been spotted shooting after games. But we all see Caitlyn's, how she's wired. She is wired like a competitor. And as I'm seeing this or doing this, I see another video of Clark getting some of those shots up from a different angle. Let's see what this is. This is George Bremer here. And here's some more footage of Clark working. These are inside the 3-point line. That's that mid-range I'm talking about a little bit. I mean, look, she just played a basketball game, so I'm not expecting her to be going full speed. But I want to see her do that off the dribble on the pull-up and be more confident. And like I said, be more selfish. She's not calling her number enough. When she gets the defender on her hip, she can pull up. When she gets by them through the 3-point line and the defender lags back, she can pull up. Those are ways for her to unlock the rest of her game. And you like to see her working on it. And really, she hasn't had a chance to work on her game. She hasn't had a chance. She hasn't had a break. I mean, she came straight from Iowa and the championship to the WNBA. Then she plays this crazy condensed schedule. And maybe that's where the silver lining of the whole Olympic thing plays in, because she can use that to just get some space in her head, for one, and not be asked all these questions all the time and, be asked to be an activist when she's telling you she's a basketball player. She's showing us right there she's a basketball player, despite the fact that she's answered those questions correctly anyhow. It's not like, I can't think of one thing she said wrong or one thing negative she said about anybody else. But she says, she wants to play basketball and that's where her goal is. So maybe that step out of the limelight for a little while, because she won't have to be made available to the media all that time, will be good for her mental health. Then maybe after that, she'll be able to get her body right a little bit too. And she'll be able to work on her game. And I found some more footage of Caitlyn getting some work in after the game. This courtesy of who we got, Dominic Miranda. And you see her working on some of the other things I was just talking about. So she was really out there. Look, there it is. That little floater. That little floater, exactly what I've been asking for. Uses the defend, gets her on the hip, uses the contact to get her space off. That's how she can get some and ones that way too. There it is. So in this footage we've seen so far, and I think that's her boyfriend who works for the Pacers, she's out there working with, you see Caitlin Clark working on getting her three-point shot to the right, because she generally takes that to the left, and that's how she's being scouted by opposing teams. You see that in the way that the defenders are blitzing her and the way that they're trying to, hedge. Then she can also have that three to the right, which makes a huge difference in the way the defender's going to be on their heels. She likes to dribble drive to the right, where we've seen her get all the way to the cup, including that beautiful reverse in the game against the Dream. But if she can get that little floater going to the right there too, and you saw her working on the little midi. Now that wasn't at full speed, but nonetheless, those are the things in her game she needs to work on, and she's working on them. What more could you want? After she just had to answer every question in the world. She's clearly frustrated, probably with the entire situation, probably with her own performance. Nonetheless, the Fever get a win, and you wasn't with me shooting in the gym. Caitlyn is out there shooting in the gym, trying to work on her game, even with everything swirling around at probably 100 miles an hour. That's how she's wired. I think we all seen that. I think everybody understands that. She's a pure hooper. She's a pure hooper. She's going to get there. I mean, she's already got, so much to work with. She's just going to add to her bag and be a better basketball player because, as she likes to tell you, that's what she is. That's her job.